Hello dear students. Students, in this part of the video, we are going to start class 10th, chapter 10, that is circles. This chapter circles you have studied in class 9th also. What you have studied in class 9th? Okay, you have studied about the definition of the circle, okay, and what is the interior part of the circle, exterior part of the circle, and some basic terms related to the circle like arc, minor arc, major arc, okay, chord of the circle, okay, and segment, minor segment, major segment. So many things we have discussed in class 9th about the circle, and also we have studied the properties of circle in the form of theorems in class 9th, okay, and also one topic was there, that is cyclic quadrilateral, okay. So these were the things that we have covered in class 9th. What you have to study in class 10th, okay, in class 10th you will see the properties related to the tangent of the circle and secant of the circle, okay, and the questions based upon that you will solve here, okay. So two main things are here, that is the tangent of the circle and secant of the circle, okay, and you will see the properties related to that, okay. So before starting the main topics of the chapter, firstly let us revise from the basic, that what is the circle and what are there some important related terms to the circle, okay. So students, how we can define a circle? We can define a circle, the basic definition of the circle is what? That a point, okay, which is called as the center of the circle. Suppose this is the point, okay, and from this point at a constant distance, okay. So what we give in the definition of the circle, that the collection of all the points, from a fixed point. This point is what? Suppose this point is O and it is fixed, okay. From this fixed point at a constant distance, means this distance is constant, here the point distance, everywhere, okay, whatever the points we have taken, all the points are at constant distance from this fixed point, okay. So we used to say in the definition of the circle that the collection of all the points which are at the constant distance from the fixed point is known as the circle, okay. Circle is what? Circle is the collection of point, and sometimes we use the word, at the place of collection of points we use the word locus. Locus means the path of the point, okay. So how we can define the circle? That the collection of all the points at a constant distance from a fixed point, okay, is known as the circle. The fixed point is known as center of the circle, okay, and this constant distance we know very well that it is known as the radius of the circle. So circle is, you can write the definition, okay, just write down the definition also. Circle is what? Circle is the collection of, a circle is the collection of all points which are at a constant distance from a fixed point, okay. A circle is the collection of all points which are at a constant distance from a fixed point, okay. And in the next line you can write that the fixed point is known as the center of the circle and the constant distance is known as the radius of the circle, okay. So students, this is the definition of the circle. We can define a circle that the collection of all the points which are at a constant distance from a fixed point is known as a circle. The fixed point is the center of the circle, the constant distance is known as the radius of the circle, okay. After that students, okay, after that some basic things we have studied about the circle. What are the basic things? See, when we draw a circle in a plane, okay, what kind of the shape the circle is? It is a planar shape. Okay, you can just modify your definition also. You can write the collection of all the points in a plane. Okay, you can add these two words, that the collection of all the points in a plane from a constant point from the collection of all the points, okay, in a plane at a constant distance from a fixed point is known as the circle. Okay, you can modify the definition, because circle is what? Circle is a planar figure. Okay, it is made always on the surface of any 3D object. Okay, so like this, in this plane, this whiteboard is a plane. Suppose this whiteboard is a plane. Okay, and I have drawn a circle here. Okay, so because of drawing this circle, this plane is divided into 3 regions. Okay, this plane is divided into 3 regions because of this circle. Okay, and what are the 3 regions? See, if we take a point outside the circle, okay, if we take a point outside the circle, suppose it is P, one point we take on the circle, that is Q. Okay, and one point we have taken inside the circle, that is R. Okay, now you can see the 3 regions. Okay, one region that is outside of the circle, and in that region I have taken a point P. Okay, one region which is the circle itself. Okay, the point Q is where? The point Q is on the circle itself. Okay, and one region is inside the circle. So these 3 points will tell you that there are the 3 regions when you draw a circle in a plane. Okay, so what are the region? The region which is outside of the circle is called exterior region. Okay, exterior region. Okay, and you know very well, it is the collection of points, so it is called circle itself, circular region you can say, and the points which are inside the circle is called interior region. Interior region. Okay, all the points which are inside the circle is known as interior region. Okay students, so these are the reasons. Okay, because of drawing a circle, a plane is divided into 3 regions: exterior region, the circle itself, and interior region. Okay, these things need not to note it down in your fair copy, because we have studied, we have covered it in class 9th. Okay, here I am just reminding you all the things. Now students, in a circle we know very well that the fixed point is called the center of the circle. Okay, and the distance, this constant distance is known as the radius of the circle. Okay, now if we join any 2 points of the circle, okay, if we join any 2 points of the circle with a line, then this is called what? This is called chord of the circle. This is called chord of the circle. Now students, in a circle how many chords can we draw? Okay, infinitely many chords can be drawn in a circle. Okay, here you can see that 2 points I have joined with a line segment. Okay, so you know very well that in a circle, okay, circle is made up of infinitely many points. So infinitely many points can be joined. Okay, so this is called, if 2 points are joined with a line segment, that is called chord of the circle. Because of this chord, the circle is divided in 2 parts. Okay, and what are the parts? Each part are called segment. Okay, segment of the circle. Now students, if the chord is, okay, here you can see the shorter region, okay, which is like this. Okay, because of this chord, the circle is divided in 2 parts. Okay, the part which is shorter, okay, is known as what? Minor segment. And the whole part, okay, except this, the part of the circle which is above the chord, okay, this is the larger, okay, so this part is called what? Major segment. This part is called major segment. Okay, this also we have studied in class 9. Here the name of the chord you can write AB, okay, and this is the chord. The region which is shaded is minor segment, and the region which is unshaded is the major segment. Okay, what else we have studied? The term related to the circle, arc. Okay, what is arc? So here, if you will take 2 points on the circle, okay, and if you will see the anti-clockwise path, okay, means anti-clockwise is what? Okay, clockwise is like this, okay, how the minute hand or hour hand or second hand, okay, moves in a clock, like in the direction like this. So this direction is known as what? Clockwise direction. This direction is known as what? Clockwise direction. But when you will write the name of an arc, you will always write in the form of anti-clockwise. Okay, here you will write anti-clockwise. Okay, so here the name of arc is always written in the form of anti-clockwise. So when you will say that arc AB, so it will be what? It is the shorter part of the circle, na? Okay, so it will be minor arc. It will be minor arc. And when you will write, see, AB I have written, so it is what? It is minor arc. It is minor arc. And when you will write BA, okay, now if you will go from B to A, so you are traveling a long path, okay, B to A, so it is larger, so it is called major arc. Okay, and remember one thing, that whenever you will write the name of arc, you will always use what? Anti-clockwise direction. Will always choose anti-clockwise direction. So this is the method to write the name of arc. Okay, and how we actually define that an arc, that the continuous piece of circle is known as arc. Okay, so here A to B is a minor arc, and B to A is a major arc. Okay, so students, and here also one thing, that what can be the longest chord of the circle. Okay, the longest chord of the circle is the diameter of the circle. Here you can see that it is the radius, it is also the radius. So the longest chord of the circle is diameter of the circle. Okay, and diameter is equal to 2 into radius, because it is the twice of the radius. Okay students, so these are the terms that we have studied in class 9. Okay, radius, diameter, chord, segment, minor segment, major segment. And one more thing also students, if the shape is like this, okay, so this is called what? The shaded region and unshaded region. Okay, this is called the sector of the circle. Sector. Okay, and what kind of sector it is? It is of minor segment, and whatever the part is left will be the major sector. Okay, so these are the minor sector and this is major sector. Because of this diameter, the circle is divided in 2 parts, and each part is the half of the circle, and that part will be known as semicircle. Okay, so students, these were the topics that we have covered, the terms that we have covered in class 9th. Okay, no need to write the definition of these terms because you already studied it in class 9. Here I was only reminding you that what were the topics. Okay, now we'll see the topics: tangent of the circle and secant of the circle. Okay, and after that we will see the theorem related to that. Okay, so students, here's the topic, secant and tangent. Okay, students, when we talk about the cases when a circle and a line is there, okay, let us talk about the cases when a circle and a line is there. Okay, see, if a circle is there and a line is there, okay, so it may be possible that just line intersect this circle at two distinct points. Okay, suppose it is AB and this is point L. The second case can be like this, okay, that the circle is there and line just touches the circle. Okay, the line just touches the circle at one point. Okay, this line is touching the circle only at one point. Okay, suppose this is the point P and this is the line M, and this can also be possible that line neither intersecting the circle nor touching the circle, it is at the distance of the circle. Okay, so three cases are there, first, second and third. Students, here we will talk about case 1 and case 2 because here nothing is to be observed. Okay, nothing to be special here. Okay, one line and one circle is there. The line is neither touching the circle nor intersecting the circle. Okay, so we will not discuss about this case. We will discuss about these two cases. Okay, what will happen if a line intersect the circle at two distinct points. Okay, if this kind of case is arising, then this line will be known as what? Secant of the circle. Okay, this is called, this is what? This is the secant of the circle. So here, from here you can write the definition of the secant. What definition you will write? That a line which intersect the circle at two distinct points is known as the secant of the circle. Okay, so just write down the definition of the circle, that a line which intersects the circle at two distinct points, is known as secant of the circle. Okay, so in a circle, how many seconds can be drawn? Okay, I have told you earlier that a circle is made up of infinitely many points. So if it is made up of infinitely many points, so infinitely many seconds can be drawn. Okay, so, and is it possible? Okay, in the definition it is already there that there must be 2 points. Okay, there must be 2 points. From that this line should pass through. Okay, so this is the definition of the secant, that a line which intersect the circle at two distinct points is known as the secant. Okay, what is the tangent? What is the tangent of the circle? So in case second, you can see, in case second, this line M is only touching the circle. Okay, line M touches the circle at one point, only one point. Okay, this line, okay, this line is touching the circle at one point only, and that point is what? P. Okay, so whenever this type of case is there, that a line touches a circle at one point, okay, if the word is there that touches, so it is clear that it will touch only one point. Okay, so a line touches the circle at one point, then this type of line is known as what? Tangent of the circle. Okay, so a line which touches the circle at one point is known as tangent of the circle. Is known as tangent of the circle. Okay, students. So these two definition you can write. Okay, and yes, here you can apply the word intersect also. At the place of touches you can write intersect also. Okay, intersect means also that it will touch the circle at one point. Okay, so these two definitions are there. Okay, and how you will write this? Firstly you will write the definition and then you will draw the figure of second. Okay, and after that you will write the definition of tangent and then you will draw the figure of this. Okay, no need to draw the figure like this. Okay, here I have drawn to make you understand only that three cases will arise. Okay, so just pause the video and note it down. So students, here is our next topic, and the next topic is some properties of tangent to a circle. Okay, here we are going to study some properties of the tangent to a circle. But students, before that, one thing that I want to remind you, that in class 9th we have studied one theorem, okay, one topic in our chapter lines and angle, or you can say that in triangle also. Okay, what we have studied, if a point and a line is there, okay, because this topic will use, okay, this concept will use in the proof of this theorem. So before that I want to make you understand here only. Okay, so what is the concept? That if a point and a line is there, okay, and you want to join this point and this line, okay, so at so many points you can join this point and this line in so many ways. Okay, but students, if someone asks you that which line is shortest, okay, means you have to join this point and this line but with shortest distance. Okay, so what is the shortest distance between this point and this line? Okay, so for that students, you have to go perpendicularly. Okay, means here if a line is which is perpendicular from this point to this line, okay, then that distance will be the shortest. Means except the perpendicular line, whatever the distance you will take, that will be larger than this line. Okay, means that shortest distance, in simple word, okay, how we can say this concept, that the shortest distance between a point to a line is what? It is the perpendicular line. Okay, the shortest distance between a point and a line is what? Is the perpendicular distance. Okay, so this concept will use in the proof of this theorem. Okay, and what is the theorem? Theorem number 1 of NCERT is, and also it is very important, okay, in the examination it can be asked in 2 or 3 marks. Okay, generally it is asked in 2 marks. So the statement of the theorem is what? The statement of the theorem is a tangent to a circle is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. Okay, means what? A circle is there, okay, and one tangent of this circle is given. Okay, so suppose this is the circle and this is the tangent of the circle. the center of the circle is O, and this is the tangent, suppose it is AB, and it touches the circle at point P. Okay, and here you can join the OP, and which will be the radius of the circle. Okay, statement is a tangent to a circle is perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. Okay, means this tangent will be perpendicular to the radius through point of contact. Means here what you have to show, here you have to prove that OP is perpendicular to AB. This you have to prove. Okay, so how will prove it? Okay, so the format of proving a theorem is what? Firstly we will write given. What is given? So it is given that a circle, how we define and how we write the name of the circle, we used to write like this: circle of center O and radius R. Okay, C in bracket O comma R. O is the center of the circle and R is the radius of the circle. So it is given that a circle CO comma R, okay, tangent AB at point P. Okay, this is given. What is to prove? This is to prove. And here to prove this you have to do some construction. What construction you will do here, students? What construction you will do? You have to take okay, any point on the line segment AB, okay, other than P. Okay, on this line AB, anywhere, okay, anywhere on this line AB you can take a point, and suppose the name is what? The name of this point is Q. Okay, and here I have written that you have to take any point. Here you can write the name of that. Take any point Q on AB other than P. Means this Q should be other than P. Okay, join OQ. Just join this point from O. Okay, here we have joined OQ. Okay, and then you can say that OQ will, or you can, here it is the construction, so you can write that let OQ intersect the circle at point R. Okay, so see, when you will join this OQ, so at one point it will intersect the circle. Suppose this point is what? This point is R. Okay, so students, this also, okay, if you are saying that OP is the radius of the circle, then it must be clear, okay, then it will be clear that OR is also what? Is the radius of the circle. So here in the proof, what you can say? In the proof, you can say that OP is equal to OR and it is the radius of the circle. Okay, in proof what we can say? That OP is equal to OR. Why? Because they are the radius of the circle. What other things you can say? Sorry. See, the side OQ is made up of OR plus RQ. Okay, see, OQ is what? The distance OQ is the sum of OR and plus RQ. Okay, so here OQ is equal to OR plus RQ. The students, if we will remove this plus RQ, okay, then what will be the impact of this on the equation? Okay, so here you can write that OQ is greater than OR. Okay, if see OQ is what? OQ is the addition of OR and RQ. Okay, so we can, and if we remove this part, then what we can say that OQ distance is greater than the OR distance. We can say it now. So here what this will imply that OQ is greater than OR. Okay, and if OQ is greater than OR, then we can say that OQ is greater than OP also, because here we are saying that OP is equal to OR. Okay, so at the place of OR we have put OP. Okay, now students, you can see that OQ distance is what? Is more than the distance of OP. Okay, and we have taken this point randomly. Okay, we have taken this point randomly on this line, means other than P, whatever the points will take, okay, the distance will be larger than this distance OP. Okay, whatever the points will take, the concept that I was telling you in the beginning, in the previously started of this theorem, okay, that if a line is there and a point is there, okay, so whatever the distance you will draw like this, okay, whoever the distance is shortest will be perpendicular. Okay, so in this the same concept will apply here. Okay, whatever the distance you will take, okay, from the points other than P, you are saying that OP is shortest. Okay, so if OP is shortest, then obviously it will be perpendicular. See, I have taken a point other than P and I have shown that OP is less than OQ. What does it mean? That OP is less than OQ. Means the distance OP is what? Shortest. Okay, the distance OP is shortest. And we have studied the concept in class 9 that a point, if a point and a line is there, so the shortest distance between that point and a line is the perpendicular distance. Okay, so here we'll write the statement that the shortest distance from a point to a line is perpendicular. Is perpendicular distance from that point to the line. Okay, so from this statement it is clear that OP is the shortest distance from this point to this line, and if it is shortest, then it is clear that OP is perpendicular to OQ. Okay, so this was to prove, students, that OP is perpendicular to OQ. Okay, so now you can pause the video and note it down. So students, I have told you the theorem related to the tangent to a circle. Okay, and the converse of this theorem, okay, that is the theorem number 2 of NCERT. Think what can be the converse statement of this theorem. The converse statement of this theorem can be that a line drawn through the end point of the radius and perpendicular to it, then show that the line is what? The tangent of the circle. This can be the converse of this theorem. Okay, and proof will also be the converse. Okay, you have to think that how you can prove it with the help of this theorem that I have told you here. Okay, so prepare whatever I have taught you today. Okay, and in the next part we'll see the questions related to this. Okay, and you have to do the converse theorem in your fair copy also. Okay, so that theorem you will do yourself. So thank you students, this is enough for today. Thank you.